Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your January 2020 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last half of January. I hope everyone is continuing to have a very nice and as easy as possible transition into this new year. Welcome to any newcomers and welcome back to followers and subscribers. So thank you so very much. Always a note of gratitude for all that you do in your support of this channel. I always want to say thank you because gratitude is the way to begin in everything that we do. That's my personal opinion anyway. Okay, so this reading is for the last half of January 2020. This is for the fire sign of Sagittarius. That would be Sag Moon, Sag Rising, Sag Sun if your Venus is in Sagittarius, or if you're cross-watching for a Sagittarian as well. If this reading doesn't resonate for you, then the message is not for you. If you know your other signs, watch those videos as well because it can provide additional clarification. As most of you know by now, general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody. And if any of you are interested in reaching out for a personal one-on-one reading, particularly if any of these videos resonate for you, or as a gift for friends, family, and loved ones, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I do offer a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life. I can usually respond to your initial inquiry with more info within the same day or the first 24 hours. And I do readings full time, 5, 6, 7 days a week. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at working with people's schedules to get readings set up in as quickly and timely a fashion as possible. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. All right, Sagittarius, let us see what the last half of January 2020 have in store for you. For those of you who need to know, I am using the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Sagittarius, we begin with the Nine of Wands, followed by the Two of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, followed by the Empress, and from the bottom of the deck, overall energy for the last half of January is the Seven of Wands. Sagittarius, I feel like some of you are having a tough time, perhaps in the financial, material, job area of your life, but that you're keeping it to yourself. You know, maybe you're not talking about some of the struggles and challenges that you're having. Some of you may have taken a bit of a financial loss or hit recently. I mean, we did just finish the holiday season, and I know that often it can be kind of an orgy of spending for a lot of people. I know people who go into debt during Christmas time because they feel they have to, you know, purchase a certain amount of stuff or for a certain amount of people or a certain type of present or a certain dollar value. So you may have perhaps overspent or gone through some difficult challenges, financial challenges during the holiday season. Because I feel like you're struggling to figure out a way through this. We do have the Nine of Wands and the Two of Wands here. So Wands is governed by the element of fire. And in the tarot, this suit is all about change, movement, action, power, forward movement, artistic, creative endeavors. So the Nine of Wands represents feeling at a place where you're, you know, and it's right next to the Five of Pentacles, which is financial and material insufficiency and lack thereof, or emotional insufficiency and lack, you know, feeling not good enough or not like it's not enough. And, you know, we have this Nine of Wands next to that, which is, you know, a card also about feeling kind of discouraged, maybe depressed, feeling like perhaps something has come up for you, you know, that's just one more thing that you have to deal with, and wondering, how am I going to get through this? Should I get through this? Should I give up? Should I do something else? What should I do? I'm not quite sure what to do. I feel very discouraged. However, this is my push through card. it's darkest before dawn, you know, the 11th hour. Tens, the number 10 in the tarot represents cycle completion, or something coming full circle where a cycle, you know, ends or wraps up. So the Nine of Wands represents that this man, whatever the burden is, he's almost done with it. He's just got a little bit left to get through. We're at the 9, we're almost at the 10, where you're going to actually see things come to an end. But he doesn't realize that because, one, he's kind of sunk down and he's just kind of immersed in, you know, some obstacle or hurdle, one more that he has to get through, and he's feeling very tired because he's already been through, you know, a number of things already. So this is a card about pushing through because, you know, you're closer than you think. You are almost, you just have just a little bit left to go, but you're feeling discouraged. Clarifying that is the Two of Wands. Which way do I go? How do I manifest this into being? You know, in the tarot, the cards are numbered. The cards have a chronological flow because they tell a story in a certain rhythm. There's a certain melody to it. So the card right before this would be the Ace, or the number 1 of Wands, which is about something new, or the opportunity for something new coming in. In the next card, this card, the Two of Wands, this is about, okay, how do I begin to manifest this? Which path do I take to actually start bringing this to reality, or at least get started? What's the plan? What's the path? Which way do I go? So it can represent being at a crossroads. I feel like some of you may be, you know, wanting a brand new beginning at something, or had an idea to start something new, but the time, and you were thinking that now was the time, and I think perhaps something has happened for some of you. Something's come up, maybe something unexpected that says not yet, and you're taking it to mean almost not at all. But it's not at all. It's just not right now. It's almost time, but it's not quite time yet, because I feel like you had this new sort of thing come in, or this idea, and it's kind of like a dog on a leash. You went to run for it, and all of a sudden you were yanked up. No, it's not quite time yet. We need just another few minutes. It's just not quite time yet. Your challenge is in just reading it as a short bad time, not a bad life. It's just you're almost at this place where something new can kind of take off, just not just yet. Something else has come up that needs to be dealt with. So next to that we have the Five of Pentacles and the Empress. See, the Empress is about fertility. It's about the time being right for something. Usually when the Empress shows up, it is the green light for beginning any new things, new projects, new jobs, new relationships, big, small. You know, it's about the time being right to plant the seeds that you can begin to grow and nurture. However, crowning it is the Five of Pentacles, which is either financial and material insufficiency and lack, or perhaps because of that feeling emotionally like, you know, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, maybe I'm not providing the way I'm supposed to be providing, or, you know, it's just, is there something wrong with me? Why can't this ever, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's almost as if, don't shoot the messenger, Sagittarius, but it's almost as if you get into a very short, temporary sort of feeling sorry for yourself sort of thing, which we all do. I do sometimes too, because you were getting ready to start something, and I feel like you just kind of got yanked up by a chain. Perhaps there is a financial matter that you need to deal with, or you need to wait just a little bit longer in order to have the financial and material resources in order to do this. And you thought you were going to have it now, you know, right at the beginning of the new year, but you have to wait just a little bit longer because there's one other thing that has to be dealt with, something that has cropped up. Now, your overall energy is the Seven of Swords, which is a card. It can represent theft and exploitation. I mean, and I hope that doesn't resonate for anybody. I hope that the reason you can't start this is because somebody stole money from you, or you lost money, but it might be because of that for some of you. The Seven of Swords does represent keeping things to yourself. You have a plan, you have an idea, you have a goal, but for the time being you're keeping your plans, your ideas, your actions to yourself. I feel, Sagittarius, the Seven of Swords can represent just keeping things to yourself and not talking to anybody. And if you're really going through a difficult time, which I think it looks like some of you are going through at least a discouraging time period, you may want to at least have one person, or be able to go to someone and, you know, kind of share this so that you can have a bit of a vent and an outlet, so that this energy just is not everything and all that you see. It can be helpful to talk to other people or another person during times of struggle, because when we're right in the midst of it, it's all we can see. We're surrounded by it. And often another pair of eyes or a fresh pair of eyes can see a different perspective, which we're not seeing because we're all clouded with emotions, and they can help us kind of get through it and, you know, have the sun break through the clouds for a bit. So just keep that in mind as well. I mean, it could be that whatever this thing is that's cropped up, and I feel like for many of you, it's some kind of financial thing, some financial loss, or feeling like you're not where you're wanting to be, or something else came up that you needed to spend the money on instead of this thing you were really wanting to start. Let's pull an advice and guidance card from Spirit, a higher message from Spirit on what is the best way to navigate through this situation, at least for the last half of January 2020 for our Sagittarians. Okay, Sagittarius, higher message from Spirit. The Four of Pentacles. So this is a card about kind of tightening your belt, particularly if this is in a financial materials sort of way. This can talk about being, you know, kind of stingy or frugal with money, being economical, like holding on to what you have, holding on to savings, holding on to what you have, being very, very careful with your finances during this period of time, at least during the last half of January 2020. But right behind it is the message I really love, which is the Six of Swords, which represents that you're moving away from troubled, turbulent, choppy waters into a place that's more balanced, harmonious, peaceful, placid, serene. It's peace and healing and restoration. It's transitional, meaning you've left the worst behind. You're not quite to the other shore and on solid ground, but you're definitely moving towards that. So I don't feel like this energy is going to last very long, Sagittarius, meaning the energy of feeling discouraged and that you don't have what you needed to perhaps start something new. But I don't feel it's going to last very long. I think that you need to be very careful, particularly around money and finances. Don't make any spontaneous or impulsive purchases. Keep it to just what you need, your budget very kind of on the lean side. There is healing. You're definitely going to be getting through this, and I think quicker than you think. And have faith in that as well. And again, for those of you that are kind of keeping this all to yourself and not talking about it, please consider kind of sharing this with somebody else as well, because that can help give you a different perspective, and a needed different perspective too, because in spite of how you may be feeling right now, discouraged, you are almost there. So Sagittarius, that is your reading for the last half of January 2020. I hope that you got something helpful and useful out of it. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading tailored just for you, particularly if any of these resonate for you, or as a gift for friends, family, and loved ones, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details. You can, of course, email me directly at Maggie_McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the February 2020 general readings. Until then, I wish you all the very best and a continued, really nice transition into this new year. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.